Visualization. Hi, you guys. Welcome to the last Too Much Tuesdays. Just to exit, I had all these technological difficulties, but I solved them. Aren't you proud? So today, I am going to be leading you in this guided visualization that is really, really cool and effective. And it's what I use when I feel super overwhelmed. So I think it's going to help you a lot to change your perspective from your perspective of, I've got all these problems and I don't know what to do, and to a higher perspective. So the way that I kind of thought of this visualization, although I didn't know that's what I was doing at the time, I was years and years ago now, I was just so overwhelmed with grief. I kept experiencing all these losses. And there was this one day where I was so freaked out and just crying and crying. And sometimes it's good to cry, but I had been crying a long time and I needed to stop. I had to go do something. And I just kind of couldn't figure out how to stop. I was just overwhelmed. So, have you ever been there in that place? And I just prayed. I didn't have any of my tapping tools or anything yet. I didn't know about all that stuff, but I knew how to pray. And I just said, God, please help me. What am I supposed to do? How do you do this? I actually didn't just say help me. I said, how can I do this? How can I handle this level of grief and keep going? I have to keep going. And I closed my eyes as I was praying, and I saw the night sky, the stars. This has always been how I have grounded myself and felt my connection to the divine and to the universe. Ever since I was a little kid, I would go outside and look at the stars, and it gave me this perspective that I really needed. Even when I was a kid, I was a little bit of an anxious kid. And so I thought, oh, yeah, this is nice. I'm looking up at the stars. And then everything sort of swung around, and in my mind I was looking down at the stars, and I stopped crying, and I saw my whole life and sort of felt my whole life from this different perspective, not being trapped in my body and in my problems, but seeing my life from a whole higher perspective. So I'm going to lead you guys in a visualization right now that is basically what I saw that day. But we're going to take it nice and slow and juicy, okay? It's going to be really cool. So take a nice deep breath for me, and then breathing out and closing your eyes. And I want you to just bring your energy to your heart and feel in your heart all the stuff that's going on in your life. Maybe you might also feel it in your head or in your throat if it's a lot of stuff that you feel like you're not allowed to talk about or say anything or do anything about. Wherever you feel it in your body, maybe it's a little lower down, maybe it's sort of a fear and anxiety in your gut. I want you just for a moment, we're not going to stay there. Just for a moment, I want you to center yourself there in your body and just lightly bring your attention to these issues. Maybe you have a health concern, and maybe you also have a family concern. Maybe you have a relationship concern or a work concern or all of those things. And as you have your energy in your heart or your throat or your head or your gut, I'm going to then ask you to, in your mind, visualize, pretend that you're going outside and it's nighttime and you're out in the country. You're standing on top of a hill and you can see other hills and rolling mountains in the distance. You could just barely make out their outlines in the dark. There's a few houses around, but it's nice and safe, but everyone else is asleep, and you've gone out in the nighttime and you're looking up at the stars, and you've never seen so many stars. You see every star in the Milky Way. It's so beautiful. These little pinpoints of shining light in this velvety midnight blackness. And as you look up at the stars, and you do still feel for one moment more in your body with these issues, in your heart or your gut or your head, and you look up at the stars, and then suddenly you only see the stars, not anything around you, and things swing around. And you realize that without having done anything, you're now looking down at those same stars. You've zoomed out. And as you look down, you can barely see your own body is still down there on the earth, and you can see the top of your head. And you zoom up even further, and now you can see the town that you're in and your state, all the people and cars and buildings and trees and land and rivers and lakes. And you zoom up even more and you see the whole country and you see the oceans, and you keep zooming out and zooming out, and you can see in your mind's eye now the earth, the globe. The continents are kind of dark green and brown. The oceans are dark blue. There's a few little white clouds swirling around the earth. And you zoom up even more, even further. And all that you can see everywhere around you, up and down and across, is stars. And you feel complete tranquility and complete silence and complete peace and acceptance. You're breathing very easily, and you're feeling your oneness with all of this pure space and stars. And then you look down again and you start to zoom back in, but very slowly. You see the earth, the continents and oceans, a few little white clouds swirling around. You zoom in a little more and you see your country. You zoom in on your state. You start to see that familiar land and rivers and roads and buildings. And you zoom in on your town, and you zoom in and you see the top of your own head. And you still see, oh, yeah, this person who's me does have a lot going on. They have that relationship thing. I can see their pain. Oh, they seem hurt. They have that work thing. I can see how hard they're trying. They have that family thing. Yeah, it is. It's a thing. They're going to get through it. Things seem almost sweet or cute from up this higher perspective. You can still see these things, but they're no longer overwhelming you. They're just things that are happening. A lot of them happened already in the past. And then some of them are things that this little person on the earth is worried about happening in the future, but they haven't even happened yet, and they might never happen. And then, because I want you to practice going up and down, we're going to go back up. So you zoom out again and you see your own little body, the top of your head, getting smaller and smaller as you zoom out and you see the town and the state around you. You see your whole country, and then you see the oceans and the continents, the globe with the little white clouds around it. You go up and out, zooming out, until you're looking down on the stars again. And you're floating around, and you're feeling how expansive the universe is, and how expansive your own soul is. You're realizing that in fact you're not caught inside your body all the time, that most of you is up above in a whole different realm, having these really interesting, rich experiences. You're always one with your entire soul, which is huge, with your higher self, which is wiser than you because it has this higher perspective. You are always one with the divine. You are always one with all that is. And now we're going to zoom back in again, very slowly, going back down throughout all the stars, going back down and seeing the earth with its continents and oceans and swirls of white clouds. Zooming back in to your own country, your own state, your own town, and seeing the top of your head. And again, taking a glance at all of those issues that a little while ago seemed so heavy, and appreciating now, wow, look, my little person is feeling weighted down. I'm going to remember how light and huge I truly am. And then you're going to, this time, go all the way back down into the crown of your own head, coming back into your own body. Keeping your eyes closed for now, taking a nice deep breath in, holding it for a few moments, and then breathing out. When you're ready, open your eyes. This zooming out visualization can be very powerful when you are overwhelmed, either with grief like I was and crying, or maybe overwhelmed with worry, anxiety, or just with everything that you have to do. It's funny how when our perspective changes, everything changes. So you've probably heard of your higher self. We all have a higher self. And of course, we're here in our bodies, but we're always connected to our higher selves, which, as I said, has more wisdom than our little earth minds have right now. But we can always connect to it. We're always connected to our entire huge soul that's been here many times and that's having truly interesting experiences this time around, I think we can all say. You're always connected to the divine, to God, to that loving energy that flows through all things. It's there, but sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we feel disconnected. It's a feeling. We're never disconnected. It would be impossible. So when you feel overwhelmed, try this zooming out meditation. It really has worked for me. and I'm happy to share it with you. You know, we have been doing this, you guys, every Tuesday. I've been showing you different easy energy tools, having different guests on, showing you my own little tricks and tools. And I started this Too Much Tuesdays back in February or March when everything was just really still so mysterious and we were in such deep crisis as far as COVID goes. Some people are still in deep crisis. If they lost a loved one to COVID, or if they lost their jobs to COVID, or some people are just still really, really anxious about COVID because it's still around. But I feel like these Too Much Tuesdays, you guys don't really need it that much anymore. We all need a lot, but not this kind of like, I know life is too much for you. So I have these tools that I'm just like giving you. So now I'm going to be doing the Beyond broadcast. So on the first of every month, which this month happens to be tomorrow. So the last Too Much Tuesday is today. The first Beyond broadcast on Instagram is tomorrow at 12:30. Um, the first of every month, I will be doing an Instagram Live. The 15th of every month, I'll be doing a Facebook Live on these different topics. Tomorrow, I am going to focus on any anxiety that's still hanging around with COVID, with jumping back into our lives when things are still up in the air as far as the variant and our kids going to school and are we working in person or at home, and I'm going to be doing something for you guys for that tomorrow. I'm also working on a podcast for you, which I'm really excited about. But the main thing that I want you to know is that there are so many things that I have for you to support you emotionally, spiritually, even physically. At there's two places I want to make sure you know about. I know some of you do, but I don't know if some of you are aware. You can go to beyondyourbelief.com, put your little name and email in the little box, and receive the transformation toolkit. It'll come to your inbox almost instantaneously. And it has all these little videos for you about tapping. There's a really cool meditation, all kinds of stuff. And I'm always adding new things. If you go to the resources page, you can see past, if you've missed some Too Much Tuesdays, you're like, oh, I really like when she does that, but most of the time I can't even join her. Those are going to now start appearing on my resources page of beyondyourbelief.com. Also, right on Facebook, you can join my Beyond Your Belief community. So if you just search Beyond Your Belief community, you can just answer a few simple questions about making sure that you'll abide by the community rules, which are just about being kind to each other, basically. And then you can be part of our Beyond Your Belief community. And I have special things like this Friday in our Beyond Your Belief community. I am doing a private Zoom. So it's not like on Facebook and Instagram. We can kind of communicate with each other. Like, oh, Natasha, thank you. Wow, amazing visualization. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Natasha. It is a really cool visualization. So we can kind of communicate with the comments, but there's a little delay and it's a little complicated. And so once a month, first Friday of every month in the Beyond Your Belief community, I do a Zoom where you sign up and you get the link. So it's a Zoom room, just like you've probably been doing for a year and a half. And there's a bunch of us, and I always, offer some support, some wisdom, a nice energy tool. And then I actually do a mini session for one or two clients, who's ever the first to sign up. So that's really cool because then we can interact more. It's a more intimate sort of feeling and live sort of feeling. And that's 12:30. I keep everything at 12:30, just so you guys always know I'm on at 12:30. That's 12:30, the first Friday of every month. But you do have to be part of the Beyond Your Belief community, and you also have to register just by 24 hours in advance for that. So I do invite you to do that. I hope that we can stay connected. I love you guys. It's been a beautiful journey that we've had on these Too Much Tuesdays. I'm also starting something I'm kind of excited about. If you happen to be in the Hudson Valley region, I'm starting a stress less evening. On Sunday evenings at the Organic Teaching Kitchen, just in September and the first Sunday of October, I believe, just doing 4 stress less evenings. And I'm going to lead people in a guided visualization, kind of like this one. I might use this one of the Sundays. And then I'm going to teach people easy energy tools to stress less, to bring your stress down. I'm sure I'll hit on tapping and some other cool things. So if you happen to be around Croton in the Hudson Valley, go to my website and you'll see all the specifics there. And I would love to see you guys in person. We're going to be in the garden, weather permitting, or inside if we have to be inside, and we'll keep a little distant and we'll keep our masks and all that on. All right. So thank you guys. I love having you, and I hope we can stay connected.